The summer Clara turned 29, the heat came down heavy and mean. The kind that makes cattle stand in the tank all day and men talk slow so they don't waste breath. Margaret had been gone 2 years now. Laid gentle beside Harold and Ruth under the cottonwood. And Clara ran the place alone. Strong brown arms. Laugh easy at the corners of her mouth. Wheat tattoo bright on her shoulder when the sun hit it just right. That afternoon she was out in the north pasture fixing the windmill. The old air motor that had pumped water for 4 generations. She climbed the tower steady. Wrench in her back pocket. Singing low to keep the loneliness from creeping in. A gust caught her sudden. The ladder slick with sweat. Her boot slipped. And she fell 12 feet straight into the metal stock tank below. The water was warm and green. But the impact knocked the wind clean out of her. She came up gasping. One leg twisted wrong under her. Pain shooting white hot up her thigh. She tried to stand. Tried to pull herself over the rim. But her knees wouldn't close. Something locked. Something torn. And the tank's sides were too high and too slick. She hollered once. Voice cracking across the empty pasture. Then set her teeth and started figuring. The way Margaret taught her. Panic never fixed anything. But stubborn sometimes did. That was when she heard the slow hoofbeats. Captain's grandson. A big chestnut gelding named Sonny. Still wearing Harold's old saddle because Clara couldn't bring herself to change it. And on Sonny sat a man she had never seen. Tall. Gray at the temples. Face weathered kind. Wearing a plain straw hat and the quiet look of someone who had been riding fence lines a long time. He swung down easy. Took one look at her clinging to the tank rim. Legs splayed useless in the murky water. And his face went still. Hold on, he said, voice low and steady. I'm coming. Clara tried to laugh. Failed. I can't close my legs. She called. And I'm stuck like a calf in a squeeze chute. He didn't laugh. Didn't flinch. Just walked straight to the tank. Knelt on the edge. Reached down with both arms strong from years of honest work. His hands closed gentle around her under the arms. Easy now. Breathe with me. On 3. She nodded. Teeth chattering more from shock than cold. 1, 2, 3. He lifted. Strong and smooth. Pulled her clear of the water like she weighed nothing. Laid her careful on the warm grass. Her right leg lay crooked. Knee already swelling purple. But that wasn't what made him freeze. His hand, still supporting her hurt leg, brushed something hard under the denim. Something that didn't belong on a human leg. He pushed the wet fabric up slow. Careful as peeling an apple in one long curl. There, just above her boot top, protruding from the muscle of her calf, was a rusted iron spike. Old square nail. Driven clean through years ago and never removed. Scar tissue grown thick around it. Holding it like the land holds secrets. Clara saw his face. Tried to pull away. Don't, she whispered. Please don't look. He didn't move his hand. Just looked at her steady. Eyes the color of winter sky over wheat. Who did this to you? She swallowed. Voice small as a child's. Roy, when I was 12, said it would keep me from running too far. Said if I pulled it out I'd bleed to death. I believed him. The man's jaw flexed once. Then he did something unbelievable. He reached into his pocket. Pulled out a clean red bandana. Folded it thick. Pressed it gentle against the old wound. Then he wrapped his arms around her. Held her shaking body against his chest. And let her cry the tears she had never let fall. Not when it went in. Not when Margaret cleaned it with peroxide and prayer. Not when the fever nearly took her. I got you, he said over and over. Quiet as bedtime. I got you now. When the crying eased he lifted her again. Carried her to Sonny. Settled her in the saddle in front of him. Her hurt leg draped careful over the horn. He swung up behind. Arms strong around her waist. Clicked soft and turned the horse toward the house. Halfway there he spoke again. Voice rough with something fierce and tender. My name is Daniel. I'm the new vet the co-op sent out to pregnancy check the herd next week. I was early. Reckon that was Providence. Clara leaned back against him. Exhausted. I'm Clara, she said. And I think you just saved my life twice in one day. He rested his chin light on her wet hair. Reckon we're even then, he said soft. Because you just gave me a reason to stay longer than a week. They rode slow. Sonny picking his way gentle. Sun setting gold across the wheat. When they reached the house he carried her inside. Laid her on the same couch where Margaret once wrapped her ankle all those years ago. He cleaned the old wound proper. Called the doctor in town. Held her hand while they cut the nail free at last. Metal ringing into the trash can like a bell saying you're free. That night he slept in Harold's old chair by the bed. Boots off. Hat on the floor. Woke every time she stirred. By morning the fever broke. And Clara looked at him across the pillow and smiled for the first time since she fell. You reached down and found something unbelievable. She whispered. Daniel took her hand. Kissed the inside of her wrist gentle. I found you, he said. And that's the most believable thing in the world. Years later, when their children asked about the funny scar on Mama's leg, Clara would tell them the short version. I fell in the tank and a good man pulled me out. Daniel would smile quiet, add the part she always left out. And when I reached down I found the strongest woman I ever met. Still standing after everything, still ready to love, and the old ranch held them gentle. The wheat waved golden over every buried hurt. And the stock tank got a proper ladder the very next week. Because some things are worth fixing. And some hearts, once they're pulled from the water, never want to climb back in alone again.